This is the story of the 10 lepers, a tale that will leave you questioning gratitude and faith in your life. Gathering around, let's take a journey back, deep into biblical times where rocky terrains and humble villages dotted the landscape near Galilee and Samaria. One fateful day, Jesus, the teacher, the healer, and the redeemer, was traveling through a marginal land, an area where different tribes collided, a region often ignored. Imagine a dusty road, the sun blazing above, the shadows long, and the air thick with silence. Suddenly, from a distance, voices rose. "Jesus, Master, have pity on us!" A group of men approached, 10 in total. Their faces were weathered, some covered in rags to hide the scarring of a cruel disease, leprosy. Imagine the isolation they endured, cast out by society. No one dared touch them. They were forced to live in deserted places, and even their voices became their only contact with others, crying out warnings to keep distance. "Unclean! Unclean!" Yet, here they were, calling out to Jesus, full of hope and desperation. Leprosy wasn't just a disease. In that time, it was a sentence, a mark of shame as much as affliction, separating the sick from their community, condemning them to unbearable loneliness. You may have been taught to avoid them, to look away, but Jesus dared to see them. He stopped in his tracks, looked upon them and said, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." Do you see the twist here? Jesus hadn't yet performed an obvious miracle. His words weren't dramatic, there was no fanfare, but these 10 men, they obeyed. Despite showing no immediate physical change, they took a leap of faith, turning and heading to the priests, as custom required for declaring oneself healed. Faith in action, faith amid uncertainty. As they walked, something miraculous happened. Their skin transformed, their wounds closed, and their strength returned. They were healed. Imagine the thrill, the joy, their lives restored. They could now embrace their families, rejoin their communities, and reclaim their humanity. But here's where the story deepens. While 9 continued on their way, only one turned back. Just one. The man, upon realizing the magnitude of what had happened, couldn't keep walking. His heart burst with gratitude, compelling him to return to the feet of Jesus. This man, and this point is profound. He was a Samaritan, a group often despised by the Jewish people. Yet this outsider, this man whose faith and gratitude outweighed divisions of culture and religion, knelt before Jesus, thanking him, praising God loudly. Jesus turned to him and asked, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?" Then, looking into the eyes of the thankful man, he said, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." Now let's unpack the layers of this story, because there's so much to uncover. It's not just about healing. It's about recognition, acknowledgement, and gratitude. Those other 9? They were joyous, no doubt. They were healed, their lives forever changed, but they missed something deeper. They missed the moment to turn back and say thank you. How many times in our own lives have we been so caught up in the blessings received that we've forgotten the source? How often do we pray for solutions, receive them, and then move on without taking a moment to turn back, to say thank you, to acknowledge the one who made the impossible happen? Gratitude transforms the act of faith into a deeper relationship with the divine. It closes the loop of blessings, allowing our faith to grow and solidify. And then, there's the Samaritan's role in this narrative. He represents the unlikely, the one overlooked, marginalized, considered an outsider. Yet, he sets the example. Faith and gratitude don't recognize boundaries. They aren't limited by race, status, or nationality. And it's often those who understand their need most profoundly who exhibit the deepest appreciation. When Jesus said, "Your faith has made you well," he wasn't merely speaking of the healing of the body. There was something far greater at play, the healing of the soul. Physical healing can restore a body, but faith infused with gratitude restores the spirit, leading to wholeness, peace, and a closeness with God that surpasses human understanding. So, what does this mean for you? When was the last time you paused to acknowledge blessings in your life? When have you turned back, quite literally or metaphorically, to say, "Thank you"? Gratitude is not just an act, it's a state of being. It shapes how we see the world and allows us to recognize the divine fingerprints on every aspect of our lives. This story of the 10 lepers isn't just a story from ancient times. It's a living, breathing reminder for today. It calls us to reflect. Who are we in this tale? Are we the 9 who go on with life? Or are we the one who returns, full of praise and thanksgiving? As you continue on your journey today, pause to consider the blessings in front of you. Think about the miracles, small or large, and let gratitude bubble up like a spring in your soul. Just like the Samaritan leper, let us fall at the feet of the one who gives us life and say, "Thank you."